the Netherlands. I work there as a teacher at the breeding school, so I teach flower arranging 3 days a week. 9 years ago, I was invited to Dubai, so this is my second time when I'm here. 9 years ago, I worked here for a month because the head of designer had a leave, and he went back to his family for a month, and I did his work for him. And it was a really, really nice experience. I was very happy to be in this beautiful place. And now, 9 years later, I'm back. And for me, it's a bit more special because I already know Mr. and Mrs. Gidwani and their company, but also a lot of the people that work for Lokrit. And so for me, it's really nice to be back. I have some experience abroad. I've been working with Bruyne. He's a very famous designer from Athens. I did a very big wedding in Athens for him. I've been to England and Dubai, and so flowers bring you all over the world and give you the opportunity to meet a lot of nice people, and and now I'm here, so I'm very grateful for that, and it's been a great experience to do the flower competition. Today I'm going to do a hand-tied bouquet, and I prepared a frame. I knew that I had to make a hand-tied bouquet, but I didn't have a clue what to make because yesterday we were in a competition and we had to do 2 tasks. Those both tasks I thought of when I was at home. And this one I thought about yesterday evening. I used some round pieces of aluminium wire, and I glued some lace on it. And I took them home with I took them with me from the Netherlands because I already made them, which is quite some work to make. And I didn't have enough time to do it here, so that's the only thing I brought from Holland. And this wooden band. In Holland they sell it in a bag. 100 pieces. You can see that I used it in my arrangement in the boot as well, and it's very handy because it's very flexible, so you can make lots of different arrangements with it. There's a lot of people here in Dubai who ask me, what is this kind of wood? In Holland you have it in a lot of different colors, but I haven't seen it here, so that's why I brought like 10 packages in my suitcase, so I was sure that I had enough. And I made all these different rounds, and I glued them together with a soup glue. And I started this morning when we were on the roof, sunbathing and swimming at the swimming pool, and I started making lots of rounds. Glue them together, and I will demonstrate it to you how I did it. So you cut off like a different lengths. Use the super glue. Glue like only the top part. Put them together. Be careful because sometimes they break. I don't know how you call this, but it's very handy to, especially when you need to do your laundry, but now I need to do it for my frame. And then you make rounds, and if you make the different sizes, you can put them together, like how I did here. The middle part, I put together not only with glue, but also with a paper wire, so it gives you extra stability. And I put iron sticks in the drill. I could have demonstrated that, but I forgot about that. You put a stick in the drill, you put the paper wire around it, and then you do like, and then it's very easy because if you have to do this all by hand, it takes you forever. And if you use a drill, it's like a minute work. So that's a tip. Do it with the drill because it doesn't take that much time, and you can do it with all kinds of things, wool and ribbon and stuff like that. Because I used the lace, it already has a little bit of a romantic feel to it. So that's why I chose to use romantic flowers as well. I'm gonna use a hydrangea for in the middle because there is a gap here. And if you want to fill it like quickly, and you can do it with the hydrangea. Be careful because otherwise it will break. If you have questions, please ask them, because I'm here now, so I can answer them for you. I'm a floral teacher in Holland. They have a special education in Holland, especially for flower teachers. I did that, and that's where I met my assistant as well. Because if you do contests, it's so important to have an assistant. Without an assistant, it's almost undoable. And Marios is over there. She needs a big cheer. Woohoo! Because I couldn't have done it without her. She has supported me so well, and I'm so happy that she joined me. So I'm very grateful that you wanted to come with me. I have these beautiful David Austin roses. They smell gorgeous. And I find them really romantic because they have like this open heart, and sometimes it's in the shape of a heart as well. So that fits my, my bouquet. So I'm gonna fill up the center first, and I made a frame, and the difficult thing about a frame is that people make beautiful frames and then they put like loads of flowers in it and then you don't see the frame anymore, which is a pity because the frame takes a lot of time to prepare and get ready. So the trick is not to put too much flowers in it, because otherwise you're not seeing your frame anymore. This frame took me like 5 hours today, but that's without making all the circles, because I think that took me like 2 hours as well. So the whole frame cost me like 7 hours. I glued rings on the frame with Oasis cold glue. That's this one. Because if you use like hot glue or super glue, it dries too fast. And because you have to do it all the way on the circle, if you use another glue, then it won't stick, or half of it will get loose. So I use the Oasis floral foam because it takes a while to dry. Also, when you use this on flowers in like a wedding bouquet or stuff like that, it needs some drying. Yeah, thanks. It needs some drying because otherwise it's not really usable. So you can see that I first do like the lower part of my bouquet. and I use it in groups, especially because the hydrangea take a really big part of it, and if you use like one rose, then it looks a bit off. So I use them in groups. Let's see. We had like a really nice Tillandsia plants, but they're pretty big to use. So we opened one up and put them on the same wood sticks. Yeah, thanks. We put them on the same wood sticks. We put a staple in it, and then used the same paper wire that I used in my frame as well, because it's sorry, can't get out of my words anymore. You need to use the same materials all over to keep the same structure from your bouquet in all the materials that you use. And because I use the paper wire underneath and in my bouquet, I use it as well to attach this to my wooden strings. I'm going to use some spray roses on the top to give it a bit more volume on top. And the easy thing about using a frame is that you already have some support for your flowers, and you can get them in the right position. So it's an extra help for me. When we were preparing this bouquet, Alex, who also was a participant in the competition, he used very beautiful green paper, and we said, "Ooh, maybe we can use it as well to make the rings." So you can use fabric like I did, or lace, to make it a bit more romantic. But if you want like a tough bouquet for a man, because this is a typical women's bouquet, if you want to make it a little bit more manly, you can use materials like this. It's just paper, so you can use lots of materials. You can even put it on leaves and make it, a bit more natural instead of romantic, what I did. Pardon? Yeah, you can have a look. It's a aluminium wire, so it bends really easily. And I use something like a small vase or a cup, and I make a spiral. So don't make one out of one round at a time, but if you use a spiral, you can cut them all, and you can work really fast. So that's what I do. I use like a hairspray can, and I just put a lot of aluminum wire around it, and then I cut it, bend it back a little bit, and then use like one plate of fabric or paper or whatever you want, and then just glue it on, put a few heavy books on it, let it dry for 2 hours, And then you can just cut them off like around the edge, and then you have like lots of circles. It takes some time, and especially because this glue is, especially when you use a new tube and you press it a little bit too hard, everything comes out. So you need to do it with some patience. I just heard my assistant say that I don't have that much time anymore, but I'm not sure. I will have a look around if I have a little bit more time than 20 minutes, because I'm talking too much. And that's what I do when you make a bouquet. I don't know if there's a lot of florists around here, but if you make a bouquet, just keep on turning and turning and look at it from all the sides, because when you put new flowers in, they'll slide and slip and don't stay in the place where you had them in mind. So always keep on looking where your flowers are going, if they're still at the right position. That's what I tell my students also, because sometimes they only do it from one side, and then at the back the flowers go the other way. And that's a pity. I will put one more here. In between the hydrangea. Be careful. I don't have that big hands, so could better use some string to give me some support. One more, putting it in the middle. Is everybody still okay or not? Yeah. Do you have some questions for me? Because now I'm on stage. What's the name of this? Oh, this is from the succulent plant. Sorry? Oh yeah, from the aloe vera. It's before it bloomed. It has the flowers from the aloe vera on it, and it makes, because I could have keep it round and not do anything with it, but I saw these and they're a little bit how do you call it? Eigenwijs in Dutch. Eigenwijs, just like me. Ja, eigenwijs. I don't know what eigenwijs is. Oh yeah, a bit stubborn, just like me. A bit off the grid. Because we don't have to color in between the lines. Not always. Most of the times. Not always. My hands are so small. Putting one in the middle. When I chose my flowers, I looked at the colors of my circles as well, because I don't know if you can see it from there, but I used white lace and gray lace, and I spray painted other white lace golden, because you can just spray paint it, and then it gets a little bit hard, so it's easier to use, especially when you use this technique. And I also use the gray colors because it matches the Tillandsia. Very well. There you go. Ooh, have some narina. See if I can hold it. Looking for some gaps, fill them up. I love working with frames because it keeps your flowers in place. Oh, there you go. Oh, where's it gone? Oh, I'm not allowed to put any more in it. Okay, my time's up. Ooh. My assistant is very on time, on schedule today. As you can see, she stole my flowers. I'm gonna cut them first because it's a bit too long. Oh, come on. Yes. I'm not gonna cut all of it off because you need to do it with the knife because you have like a clean cut wound. But because of my the finishing and the iron in the middle. So I'm using the same paper wire for binding my bouquet, the same wire that I used in my bouquet, because I like to use the same materials all over again. So then you're sure that there's not too much going on. Sometimes when you like materials a lot and you like to use a lot of materials, it's confusing for the brain because there's too much going on. Well, there you go. It's my romantic bouquet. As you can see, I only put like the flowers in the middle, so my frame, you can still see my frame. My frame is the eye catcher, but also the flowers, but it's such a pity if you don't see, you put a lot of work in your frame. And then you put the flowers in and you don't see your frame anymore. And here you can see that the frame is still there. So, fantastic. Are there any questions or no?
Any questions? Questions?
I think the main question would be how you drilled it.
How you drilled it?
How I drilled this? Oh yeah, I could demonstrate it if somebody has a drill for me and a stick. A drill and an iron, maybe a Marion, can you get it for me? A paper wire and Tomas Max has like really good iron. And then I will demonstrate it to you because you can make like really cool designs with it. Oh, there you go. A romantic Valentine's bouquet. Or if you want to ask somebody to marry you, maybe, perhaps.
Any questions? Questions?
You like it? Good.
Any questions? Okay, yes, we have one here. Can you step forward?
Supply who will supply for the material that you use? The one you can bend.
Sorry, I don't.
Who supplies the material that you have used? The stick, you mean? The sticks. you
Oh,
have-
sticks. Well, I brought them from Holland
From
because you
Holland.
can't get them here. So
There's no chance to bring it here for one supplier.
this is
One second.
Grass weed.
No, it's a piece of wood. They scrape like a really thin piece out of wood. And in Holland they sell it in like all different colors. You can get it in greens and in yellow and orange, in every color
You
you,
can.
want.
It's this one.
If you use this and because some are really bendable and some are not. If you use it and you want to make like really small circles out of it, just put it in water, and it will. And you can make any shape you want. Yeah, because for the really this circle is okay, but if you want it smaller, it breaks. So I soaked it in the swimming pool this morning.
Yeah.
And then you can make like really.
Okay.
Then you can make really small circles.
Okay.
So I soaked it in the swimming pool and clipped it together.
Ha,
Then
ha.
I let it dry again, and then you can glue it.
You can bet.
Yeah.
Thank you. Very nice.
Okay, any more questions?
No, I will. When my assistant comes back with
Sorry,
the drill.
one more question.
We use cane in India. We use cane for the circles. Cane, like bamboo. We use
Clean
cane.
material.
Yeah. No. No.
Oh, okay. Then you have.
Instead of this, we use cane.
Oh, cane. Yeah,
Cane.
Yeah.
This is wood.
Okay, any more questions? Okay, thank you then.
Oh, yeah. Patrick.
You have one?
Patrick has a question.
You need to step here.
Quick question. How long does it take to prepare the frame, and how much you're going to sell like this kind of bouquets? Normally in the Netherlands or here in Dubai?
Oh well, the frame making took me 5 hours today, but that was only with making these circles and putting them together.
Okay.
Putting the frame together. These circles I took with me from Holland because I've already made them.
Yeah.
So I think if you combine those two, it takes you 7 hours to only make the frame. And then it takes you another maybe 10 minutes to make the bouquet. I was talking a lot, so it took me 20 minutes.
Of course, I understand.
But, that takes you 10 minutes. So I think in Holland I would sell it for maybe 200, 250 euros.
Okay, that's around here in Dubai, just about around 1,000 dirhams, 1,250 dirhams.
Yeah.
It depends also importing the things as well here. And
Yeah, it depends on what
and
kind
the
of flowers
season.
you use. Yeah.
Okay.
So would be around 1,000 dirham.
Yeah.
1,200 dirham. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Okay, thank you.
Very good question. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Any more questions? Okay, we have one more. Let me just step here, please.
My question is like, where do you usually get the inspiration for your designs?
Oh well, sometimes I wake up and I'm like, ooh, I have that in store and that in store, or I saw something. So it can be in fashion, it can be in like Instagram or social media. This is the paper wire from Oasis. You have it in green and you have it in brown, and it's like a iron wire, small tin iron wire with paper around it. Well, if you want to make the bindings like really fast, you just only do like the edge by hand, nice and tidy, like that. You use a drill, and then you put the stick in the drill, You close it. Put the wire on the floor because otherwise it's going to be... and then you just go like this. Don't knot it because it really hurts your hands. Make it straight. And this is a technique I use a lot because you can make so much cool structures with it. And especially when you use like the wool they use here, then you can make like, and it's a cheap material and you can make like really cool, colorful frames with it. Get it out of the knob. Don't get it tangled because it really hurts your fingers. Open it up and then just do the last part by hand. And you can use like, or you can make the design like this. So you have like a straight one and you can make all different kind of forms out of it, or you can make it round, whatever you want. So it's really cool to use this as well for a frame on a bouquet, or maybe, you know, the wooden sticks that are in the orchid plants. You can put them in your drill as well and put some wire around it. And you can make like lots of different designs out of it. I will show you one more. And then I will definitely stop because I'm way over time. So put it on the end in the drilling machine. Oh, the other way around. Go all the way up. Go back down. At the end, you need to be really careful because otherwise it will slip off of your iron wire. Go back. So you can make it straight, but you can also make it a bit funky. And then you have like another design that you can use for anything you want. I use it like this. And make something cool out of that. There you go. Easy peasy. And it saves you so much time. Thank you very much. Thank you so much as well.